Hey y'all, I know it's been a super long time since I've done this, so I figured it was time to come back on, go live again. Um, I kind of have good reasons, I guess, for taking so long to having such a long break there. Um, as you all know from my previous posts, we did move recently, and on top of that, we found out the week that we moved to Raleigh that we are having another baby. So, with finding a new midwife and figuring out everything that goes along with that, plus getting everything unpacked and put away, it's been kind of crazy. So, that's my excuse for not doing this in a little while. So I'm not going to talk about my regular content today where I would normally go over my blog post. What I'm actually going to do is I will do that at another date, but I want to talk for a minute about why I'm announcing the pregnancy now. So I am 6 weeks pregnant today, and normally people wait until they're like 12 weeks, right, before they announce their pregnancy because there's this magical um, this magical thing like, oh, you're less likely to have a miscarriage, which is true. If you get to 12 weeks, that a miscarriage is less likely to happen. So a lot of people will wait until then to announce their pregnancy. But I have basically three reasons that I decided to go ahead and do it now. And the first one is that I really believe in the power of prayer and the power of positivity. So I decided to share it so that those of you who pray and who care can, say a prayer for our baby, for its safety and protection. And also by putting it out there and telling people that I'm pregnant, it's kind of like saying, I have faith, I believe that this baby will make it. So that's my first reason, is the power of prayer, the power of positivity. The second thing is that there really is like this stigma attached to thank you, Lydia, praying for me and the health of the baby. I really appreciate that. There's like this stigma that's attached to miscarriage, and I didn't like personally feel it, but I know that a lot of people do that. Well, actually, I should take that back. There's like this feeling of like it's your fault somehow, like after we had 3 miscarriages, and after each one, like I had this feeling like, what did I do wrong? What should I have done differently? Did I somehow cause this? And there's so much research I could go into. I'm not really going to go into any details on that right now, but I feel like people need to know that it's not your fault if you lose a child, and you shouldn't be afraid to tell people if you do. It's not like you did something wrong. It's not necessarily that there's something wrong with you. I mean, you can do what you can to preserve your pregnancy, but in the end, it's not all in your hands, and it's not something that you did. So that's my second reason, is kind of to like reduce that stigma around miscarriage and like help people not be so scared to share when they do have a loss. I feel like there's a loss of community when we don't share those things. And then the third thing, kind of going along with the idea of community, is that when we had our first miscarriage, we were planning to wait until I think it was Thanksgiving, because I got pregnant in October, and we were not going to tell my husband's parents or my parents until they came to see us at Thanksgiving. And I ended up miscarrying very, very shortly after I found out. And so it was like the saddest thing ever. I feel like I'm going to start crying now. I don't do this in public. I don't cry in public, so this is a little bit awkward. But I felt like our parents never got to share the joy with us, the joy of discovering that there was a new life, that we had a baby coming. All they got to share with us was the sorrow of the loss, and that was just tragic to me. So we decided from then on that like the people that we loved and that we cared about and that we knew loved and cared about us would know almost as soon as we did, because we wanted their prayers, we wanted their support if something happened, and we wanted them to be able to share in the joy and, you know, in the sorrow if something did end up happening. So I'm sharing this with all of you so that you can share in our joy, and Lord willing, it will be all joy. There will be no sorrow, but I will not be ashamed to share it with you if there is sorrow there as well. So anyway, those are my 3 primary reasons: the power of prayer, the power of positivity, reducing that stigma around miscarriage, and then just that idea of community and support through like the good times and the bad, the rejoicing with those who rejoice, weeping with those who weep. So one more thing that I wanted to add was I have been doing a lot to balance my hormones since my son was born, and I want to share that with you guys, like some of the things that I have been doing to get my hormones balanced, because we have quite honestly been trying to have our second child here on earth for a while. So this is really exciting for us. And I think that some things that I've been doing have really helped to get my hormones balanced and to get me to a place where my body could become pregnant. So I am going to be offering a class in the next couple of weeks about that has to do with how to balance your hormones naturally. And if you're interested in attending that class, I would love for you to comment with the word class in the comments, and I will get you the information on that class as soon as I have everything ready there. So yeah, so I'm looking at Mary Beth's comment here that she announced early as well. Yeah, so you have that, right, that feeling of community if something happens, and yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing, Mary Beth. All right, awesome. So it was great talking to you guys, and I am looking forward to seeing you all in my hormone health class, and I will talk to you all later. All right, have an awesome weekend. Bye.